Hello, I'm Sue Shapcott from Change Golf Instruction, and I'm in Madison, Wisconsin, where the season is coming to an end. You can see the trees are changing color. It's very pretty, but one of the downsides to this time of year is that golfers have to move from the grass tees to the mats. And I know that there's a lot of golfers out there, because they tell me this every day, that they don't like practicing from the mats. Now, in this video, I'm going to try to persuade you that practicing from the mats isn't such a bad thing. It's something that you can embrace, and you can get just as good practice sessions from hitting from the mat as you do from the grass. So let's start with the obvious. Then the grass isn't the mat, so you're hitting from a different surface. So from a practice perspective, then yes, ideally you should practice the way that you play, but there are some upsides to hitting from the mat, and that is that you get a good lie every single time. That isn't the same when you hit from the grass this time of year, where it tends to get beaten up and it gets very muddy and wet, so you get a nice lie when you're on the mat. Now, I know that the mat is more forgiving than the grass, so if your club hits too early, then it can bounce into the ball when you're on the mat and doesn't when you're on the grass, so you can get a false sense of how well you're hitting the ball. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with hitting better shots while you're practicing. The fact is that when you haven't struck the ball well. I know when I'm teaching people from a mat that they haven't struck the ball well. And it doesn't mean that you still can't get something out of your practice sessions from the mat. So if you're working on your swing, if you're just warming up, then the ball isn't going to react just the same way as it does from the grass. But it doesn't mean that you can't learn from what you're doing in your swing, and you can't work on your swing when you're on the mat. Not to mention the fact that the green staff are going to be happy with you for not digging up the grass when it's wet. So if you are someone who is a little bit adverse to hitting from a mat, then take it for what it is. It's still a good way to practice. It's not going to do your golf swing or your golf game any harm, and it's still a very good way to practice. I actually enjoy practicing up on the mats a lot. I've got a nice mat here. It's a nice AstroTurf mat. It's got some sponge in it, so it's got some give. And I can tell when I don't hit the ball well. I can fool myself and think that it's still a good shot, but I know, and so I can still get feedback when I'm practicing from a mat, and I can teach just as well from a mat as I can from the grass. So that's my snippet today for practicing from a mat instead of the grass. Just embrace it. It is what it is, and it's not going to do you any harm. Thanks very much for watching. Please check out some of our other videos, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.